Hey everyone, welcome to this new moon Sidereal Astrology forecast for Monday, February 8th, 2016. I'm Athen, and this is for Sidereal Astrology, very different from mainstream astrology. If you are new to the channel, be sure to check the link because the signs are different. All right, so the new moon is in Capricorn here today, this early part of the week. So now new beginnings around the qualities of Capricorn, which are essentially about that slow and steady approach. Like I often talk about, Capricorn is a lot like the mountain that we scale one step at a time. And this is very, interesting when you look at the constellation, which is the sea goat. It's that we are, of course, spiritual beings, and we are implementing our spiritual life path, if you will. But the goat represents that testing the structures in our life, climbing things, and everything else you might notice goats do as well. So the elements of patience, the elements of persistence, of hard work, of commitment, of maturity, these are the kinds of qualities really coming through this new moon right now. Now, as you might guess, this is, an area that does take that extra attention because this isn't the normal domain for the sun or the moon to be placed in Capricorn. But if we do approach it with an openness to be patient, to be disciplined and persistent, then this is an excellent time to cultivate these qualities in life. So whether you're feeling it, yourself, whether you're seeing these energies externally or whatnot, I think it's just a great time to really take responsibility for your situation, take responsibility for anything that you feel like you might want to achieve or cultivate in your life. And for more information on this, do check your weekly, where you can see where this new moon is going to be taking place for you. So one thing with this is that Saturn is in Scorpio and Ophiuchus, right there on the cusp. So when it does come to building these things in life, it does come to having that maturity, it's really about what really matters. Saturn in this placement, the depositor of this new moon, is signifying that there is this importance of, what really matters, what is really deep, what is really meaningful to us in life. And it's through, I think, examining these things and reflecting on them, I think can be a great source of inspiration, a great source of awareness during this very internalized, receptive time. Now, what's nice about this new moon is that it is sextiling up to that Saturn, which is great. So I think we'll naturally have a lot of these qualities. If you observe the situation, observe the self, you might see that you are willing to take it slow. You might be willing to have those responsibilities or those commitments in that sense. Now, it's also going to be sextiling up to Uranus, which is fantastic. This is new inspirations, new insights, a willingness to try new things, perhaps even exciting things as well, specifically when it's about maybe getting some of that alone time, having faith and trust. These kinds of things have been very freeing with Uranus and Pisces, and I think that's a very supportive way of looking at it, where we can make change so we can have more peace and presence in our life. So those are the two supportive aspects, the two sextiles that are exact with it. Now, it's also going to be squaring up to Mars. Okay, so the key with this one is that, and this was something we were feeling this previous weekend leading up to it with the sun squaring Mars, is if you are feeling a little bit easily stirred up or responsive, which can sometimes be the case with Mars in a challenging aspect, then it's good to be, proactive versus reactive. Really focus on what motivates you, what inspires you, where can you take some of this action and implement it constructively, which is that square. Square aspect really holds the frequency of both Saturn and Capricorn, and that it's about structuring it, disciplining it, and again, having this sort of self-mastery in the process, that self-awareness, both the emotional, mental, and physical sense. So those are the major aspects. I think that Mars will probably be the strongest in terms of the aspects, so extra attention there with our motivations, our drive, but again, implementing this constructively and being proactive in the process. So that's the new moon in a nutshell. Here's the transit graph for the day. These aspects down here are the aspects we just talked about. Now, what's interesting about today as well is that Venus is going to be sextiling up to Chiron. So there is some healing coming in, and this might be with relationships, which maybe went through a transformation this previous weekend. Might have to do with our values in life. Perhaps those changed over the previous weekend when Venus went over Pluto. So the key with this is that it can all be quite healing. I think it's an excellent weekend for seeing where we can tap into a bit more of an adventurous spirit in life. Venus is in Sagittarius, really helping us see what's possible and how we can enjoy a bit more of that adventurous outlook. So whether it's philosophy, whether it's getting some nature or whatnot, I think a lot of these things that have to do with either our values or relationships can actually be very healing and tranquil with this sextile up to Chiron. So in a nutshell, this new moon is going to be new beginnings around these sorts of qualities of patience, persistence, responsibility, and I think implementing it in that patient way, that persistent way with Mars in that proactive way. And there's a lot of support with this. You know, there's this inspiration, there is new insights with it. I think it's an excellent time, this new moon, to reflect and really see where we can set these new intentions for both the short term of the next 2 weeks of this, you know, until we get to the full moon here of this lunar cycle, but also in the next 6 months. You know, this is when we're going to have the full moon in Capricorn, 6 months from now. So it could be a cultivation time of a lot of things that we do implement right now that do require this slow and steady approach. All right, everyone. So have a fantastic new moon. I'll see you guys all tomorrow for the daily. Take care.